What's going on? It's I don't even know what time it is. Look at that. It's 2:32 already. On Saturday morning, January 7th, and I'm back with another Thoughts Out Loud session. I have missed. It was so crazy that like the week before last was the first week that I did like every Thoughts Out Loud session, or maybe 2 weeks before last. And this week I missed them all, man. I'm very sorry. It's supposed to, Thoughts Out Loud is supposed to be part of my morning routine. And when I wake up every morning, I do a Thoughts Out Loud session. What has been happening this week is that I haven't been going to sleep until I don't know, 3, 4, sometimes 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, just because I've been off all week and I've been working to get things done with my little project, my blog slash podcast slash YouTube channel, and we're trying to get things up and running. And I've been pushing it. I've just been pushing it for that goal. There's some things I wanted to put in place in January. It really would normally not affect Thoughts Out Loud, but yeah, I mean, with me not going to sleep and me not having to go to work, then like the routine is thrown off, so to speak. Like I could have done it before I went to sleep most times this week, but I kind of just dozed off after being I don't know, after trying to really get things together with Soul Weaver and things like that. I do want to do a quick recap. I mean, it has been a good week. Like I've been able to get some cool things done. I got 2 of the 3 podcasts for the month recorded, and we're kind of just touching on what we're gonna do this month, or the changes that we're gonna make this month, and my resolutions that motivated the changes that we're gonna make this month were the 2 episodes I got done. But we've already got next week's episode slotted and ready to go, and that's just 1 week ahead of schedule, but it already feels great. I also finished up my own the theme music I want for soulweaver.com, and it sounds like the way I want it to sound. I mean, I think I'll send a link. I'll leave a link in here just so you guys can check it out in the description. But yeah, it's what I want it to be, and so I made different versions of the theme music for the intro, the outro of the podcast, and the intro of the YouTube channel. I'll probably just use the outro from from the podcast for the YouTube channel, and things like that. So I mean, I've gotten some things done. I got some stuff slotted. Got some writing done. What I didn't get done that I had planned on doing was the old, not the old, but the posts and the projects that I wanted to finish up before the end of the year. That did fall flat because, quite honestly, I just failed to do it. I mean, I just really am not motivated to finish up this last blog post, this last portion of this last blog post. I got a real taste of what it feels like to try to force yourself to do something, to try to work on something that you're really not motivated to do. And this has been, I can't believe it, that it's this topic that really has thrown me off. I thought it would be the K-pop, K-drama topic that would really throw me off, because I'm not that into K-pop and K-drama, but this, and that's the entertainment topic, but the topic of scenery and what is it? Scenery and landscape. It's so difficult to write about because I'm so bored every time I open up my computer, every time I open up my WordPress blog. It's just oh God, I do not want to write about this. But each time I've done it, I've gotten a little bit done. Eventually, I'll get to the point where I smell blood, and I'll go ahead and knock it out. I wanted that to happen before the end of last year, but it didn't. Wow. I guess with that being said, the last Thoughts Out Loud experiment was done pre-New Year, so Happy New Year. Wow, that should have came at the beginning of this. And it's now 2017. This year is just I'm in full effect this year. Fuck you. No. That's how it happens. That's how I cut it off, and I let it it defrosts, and then it ends up doing water damage on my hardwood floors. It's gonna stay on, guys. I'm sorry. I'll figure something out later. Another thing I've been able to do this month, and I talked about it in the last Thoughts Out Loud experiment, I think, or the Thoughts Out Loud session. I've been able to really plan things out for the next quarter. That is such a good feeling. That's a huge win, because there's so much that doesn't come from scratch now for the next 3 months. And I think if I sit down and really stick to my schedule, I can knock all that content out probably within the month of January. Then that leaves me 2 months to be working on 2 months to be working on the next week's content, or just doing additional content for this quarter. Yeah, so hope I made myself clear right there. What if I finish everything for the next 3 months in January? Then I have February and March to work on the next quarter's content, or just add new stuff to or add other things that I wanted to do and never got a chance to do for January's content. And it's just been, I don't know, things have been working out well. I'm super positive, super optimistic about the new year, and I don't know, I'm like, I can't stop thinking about how well things are going. The only thing is, like, things are lined up very, very well. I've got my schedule lined up in Google Calendars. Everybody's on the same page in the house, and all there is to do is for me to fail to do it. And I've seen it happen with other things in the past. Like, sometimes I just didn't have the right motivation. Sometimes I just get off work and I just don't feel like doing anything, and I have a hard time finishing up projects. It's one of the things I talked about it's one of my New Year's resolutions I talked about in episode 1 or episode 18 of the Sober Podcast, is that I just want to really create, that's not where I was going with that. What happened right there? I have these things that I want to do, but I don't finish them. Like, finishing through is a real problem, and I just want to finish those creations. That's where that came from. I just want to finish it out and get it done and move on to the next thing. And sometimes that's hard to do when, I don't know, you're exhausted from work and you come home and all you really want to do is sit down and play video games. I mean, you just don't want to do any work. So I'm gonna have to get the gaming under control. Like, I don't know how. It's just a release that I really appreciate. That you can come home, turn your brain off from all the stresses of the day and things like that. Things like that. And I sit down with my son and we'll play Craft the World or something like that. And it's just clicking here and clicking there and dragging, and we'll watch Skylanders on Netflix. And it is a completely fulfilling recharge. And to substitute that with content creations it's a little tough, because content creation is, as much as I like it, it's not a recharge. It's still work in some way, shape, or form. So I guess it's time to get that kind of figured out and I don't know, get myself together and how I want to go ahead and create content, or how I want to balance this out. What I've seen from a lot of other people is that the way they rectify it, the way they do it, is they do content creation, or they do their creative stuff first thing in the morning, first thing in the AM. They just say, okay, I'm going to jump on, I'm going to do this. And that's what this is supposed to be all about. That's what Thoughts Out Loud is supposed to be. It's just me jumping on and doing it first thing in the morning. But what I find that with, again, this week, that's just not what happened, because first thing in the morning, I was going to bed. So that'll go away. Next week, I'll go back to work. I got to wake up early in the morning. I'll get back on my schedule, and I'll just sit down and turn this on and go. If you'll notice, we've made another change I've made another change to the area. My son wanted to shoot a YouTube video today. So he was like, hey, Dad, I want to make some space for both of us so we can sit here and we can both do a YouTube video. And got all this moving around done and reorganizing and pulling up another mic. I'm using my Blue Snowball now. And we turned on, hit the record button. He did all this talking up to that moment, hit record, and he just stopped talking, man. He just got in Minecraft on his phone, and I was like, you're making a Minecraft video, right? He said, yep, I'm building a house. And I said, okay, what kind of house are you building? Yep. No dialogue. He just stopped talking. And so finally, lost my head. I was like, yo, man, I kept my composure, but I was like, man, if you're not gonna talk, then we did all this for nothing. We did all this reorganization and all this rearrangement and getting set for this video for no reason. He was like, yeah. Whoa. That's all you got is yeah. So, I don't know, I'll throw those videos up just because All Things Will is the place where me and Lil Will throw all our little content up there and, I don't know, kind of improve on it from over time and things like that. But yeah, that kind of ruined my morning. Thoughts Out Loud was supposed to happen first thing this morning, and he woke up and interrupted me, and that's what we ended up doing, or I let him interrupt me. Central locus of control. I allowed him to interrupt me. And so it's my fault that Thoughts Out Loud didn't happen this morning. It's also my fault that it didn't happen at all in the past few weeks. But yeah, I figured I'd come and give you guys a recap and go over what happened this week. It's Saturday. Usually that's not a Thoughts Out Loud day, but I just want to go ahead and get back used to doing it. Oh, that's not going to work. Get back used to doing Thoughts Out Loud and kind of sitting in front of the mic and just randomly thinking out loud about my entrepreneurial journey and entrepreneurial aspirations. So yeah, that's it. Was there anything else I wanted to touch on before I head out? Because we're about at 10 minutes. No, it's the games, yo. Like they have to stop. Like I have to stop playing video games. Like not stop, but I have to like section off the time just as I've sectioned off time to do other things for the blog because it works great. I get like it's on my Google Calendar. I get a heads up like saying, okay, at least I get this thing. I don't have nothing makes me get up and go right, but at least I get a message in the morning and I get up and look at it and it says you're supposed to be writing right now, and I can't close it without feeling like I'm not doing what I promised myself I'd do. And that's where it really comes in handy. If I do that with gaming, it might be a little different. I don't know. I gotta do something with it. I gotta just get bored with it, and Steam makes it so easy. Oh gosh. Anyway, so that's it for the Thoughts Out Loud session. Sorry about the week again, and we'll get it straight next week. And I don't know. Next week next week Monday is a writing day, and Thoughts Out Loud. This Thoughts Out Loud session will be geared toward writing because I actually have to write something up next Monday. So that's what my schedule is. I guess I'll see you guys then. Have a great weekend.